Hey everyone, it's CL. So as you know, this month my videos are filmed in real time, and today I am just having a terrible day. And not only am I having a terrible day, like my daughter is also kind of having a bad day, and I think we're just like bouncing negative energy off each other, which isn't good. So normally days like this where I'm in a bad mood, I just want to like quit things. And I have about 6 more days left in Vlogtober, and it's really important for me to finish projects that I start because I am a very good worker bee. I'm very good at taking care of other people, but when it comes to myself, self-care, projects I want to do, I really struggle with completing things. So today I want to be a good example to my daughter and push through. When you're having a bad day, you just gotta push through. So I was trying to think, like, what can I do to get out of my bad mood? So I decided to do a journal prompt that I found online, and hopefully through this journaling exercise I can kind of get out of this terrible mindset, terrible mood. But let's go ahead and get into this journaling exercise and see how it turns out. So the exercise that I found, so it has a list of 4 things, so I'll just start with number 1, and it essentially says, when you're having a bad day, find a quiet place to yourself. Spend a half hour doing a relaxing activity like walking, meditating, yoga. So I did go to the gym earlier. I'm gonna count that as my step 1, my relaxing activity, because I don't feel like doing yoga or anything extra tonight. All right, so step 2. Now it says, pick up your pen and tell it all about your day, starting with the reasons it was frustrating or unpleasant. All right, so I'm gonna do that. Like, one of the things when you're in a bad mood, every little thing starts to bother you. Like, this light is too bright, it's making me hot. My journal, I hate this journal because it's so small. I know that I'm the one that picked it out, but now that I've been using it, this is my current journal. Like, I hate it. I can't wait for the day when this is completely full so I can buy a different journal. I've just come to learn that I like big journals. I can't do small journals anymore. I like big journals with lots of space. And when you have a bad day and are in a bad mood, all you want to do is complain and lay in bed and not do anything. The purpose of this video is we're trying to come back from that. So I'm going to take some time. I'm going to journal about my day and what was frustrating. So let me go do that and I'll come right back. So I did my best to summarize my day. And even though it felt like a very long day of frustration, when I put it on paper, it wasn't anything big. It was just kind of a handful of annoyances. And I think on any other day it wouldn't have been a big deal, but for whatever reason today, it just feels like it's stacking on top of each other. And it just feels like a bad day. So in the prompt it says to vent, complain, moan, pretend you're talking to a close friend who will listen supportively without judging you. When I reflect back of what I wrote, my day kind of started off on the wrong foot in the sense that I woke up feeling very tired. I didn't want to do anything. I was feeling really unmotivated, and right from the beginning of the day I was already trying to muscle through the day, push through the day. And when I look back of what I wrote of like what frustrated me, it wasn't even anything significant. Like, I even wrote about my lunch. Like, I was craving something satisfying to eat for lunch, but it's one of those times where like I couldn't think of like what I wanted to eat. When I think like what would I want for lunch, nothing sounded good. Everything was just kind of you know? I ended up having like a ramen noodle bowl, and even after I ate that, it felt very unsatisfying, disappointing. It just wasn't great. It didn't fulfill that want for me to eat something super tasty. Now I'm starting to laugh now because during the day it felt frustrating, but now that I'm going through it again, it seems silly. When I say it out loud and I know that somebody else is hearing my frustrations of today, it comes across as very silly. So that was just one example. The rest of the examples I won't necessarily share because they're a little bit personal, but let's go ahead and see what is in the next prompt. The next bullet point in the prompt is asking you to give yourself a personal pep talk. It wants you to use your inner voice and kind of coach yourself, being supportive, encouraging you. Yeah, so that's the next step in the journal prompt, is now I have to give myself a pep talk, and I'm kind of like, what should I say? That would be so easy if I was like talking to someone else, because I'm super encouraging, I'm there for people, but when it comes to myself, I'm like, what would I say? What do I say to myself, you know? And maybe that kind of shows a lot that I really do put myself last, unfortunately, but I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna take some time and give myself a pep talk. Fingers crossed, let's see how it turns out. Alright, so I completed my pep talk to myself, and when I was starting it, it felt really cheesy. But since I am doing this journal prompt, you just have to trust the process and just do what they tell you to do. So in my pep talk, I kind of reiterate, like, even though it feels like it was a horrible day, it was just a handful of minor annoyances. And then I tell myself to think of my mood and like hard times in general as seasons. So you might be someone that hates winter and it might feel like winter is lasting forever, but in reality that eventually it won't be winter anymore and that season will change. And just like seasons, so even though it feels like you're in a horrible mood and going through a rough patch and it feels like all week next month is all going to be terrible too because everything's pointless, that feeling will eventually pass. It's temporary. And I also remind myself in my pep talk that I can let that feeling go. I felt so frustrated and it felt so strongly that I had such a horrible day. And in reality, I am hanging on to those negative emotions and I can choose to just let it go. Whatever happened today that made my day feel terrible has already happened. And there's no use hanging on to that feeling. So just let it go and move on. Enjoy the rest of your night, essentially, is what I said in my pep talk. All right, let's see what's next. Make a list of ways tomorrow is going to be better than today. And tell yourself you'll feel better in the morning. All right, so let's do that part and we'll come back. Okay, so for that last item, I really didn't know what to write. So I kind of just repeated back that I'll have a good day. So the one thing I did manage to write is that tomorrow I will be more rested. I'll feel like I have more energy. I will get a nice, good night's sleep tonight. And then I just kind of basically write it will be a nice sunny day tomorrow because I really like when it's really sunny outside. Puts me in a good mood. I like when the light from the daytime comes into my windows. So that's why I put down that it's going to be a sunny day tomorrow, even though I really don't know. I didn't check the weather. Tomorrow I'm going to start off on the right side of the bed because I feel like today I definitely started off on the wrong side of the bed the moment I woke up feeling really tired, and it just went downhill from there. So those were all the items of this journal prompt exercise to help get over my terrible day. And as far as whether or not it helped me, if I'm being perfectly honest, I went into this very skeptical because I know that when I'm in a bad mood, I really hang on to that all day. And I'm just have this foul, negative mindset. But after doing this journal prompt, honestly, I do actually feel better. I think what helped me the most doing this was me being able to see outside of myself. So once again, when I was writing down like what frustrated me today, I even laughed at myself. I'm like, really? Are these small little things today the reason why it really took down my whole day? So yeah, I do feel like I am definitely in a better mood compared to that negative cloud I was in all day long. So I do feel better. And now I can just focus on the rest of the evening, just kind of enjoying what I want to enjoy. And tomorrow we'll start fresh. I recommend trying this exercise and hopefully it'll turn it around for you. Thank you for watching and I'll see you later.